Welcome back to the next chapter, chapter number 2, the science behind the magic of the law of attraction. Magic is just science that we don't understand it. It says by Arthur Clarke. So there is a science behind every magic. When people don't understand something, they call it magic. Once they understand how magic works, they call it science. Here are the few examples. In ancient times, anyone who had medical knowledge that was known as the magician because people did not understand that the science of medicines. A few decades ago, I told you that you could have a mobile phone in your hand which you could carry anywhere and make calls to any part of the world. You would call it as magic. About 20 years ago, people thought touch technology was a myth because they did not understand the science behind it. Today, it is in your hand as a touch phones or the smartphones. If I told you that a few years from now you would be able to download the data straight in your brain, you would call it myth or a magic. Once somebody understands how it works, it's called science. Yesterday's magic is today's science, and today's magic is tomorrow's science. Let me repeat again. Yesterday's magic is today's science, and today's magic is tomorrow's science. Got it? I like this sentence and I will again repeat. Yesterday's magic is today's science, and today's magic is tomorrow's science. That's nice quote. So once you understand how the law of attraction works, you will realize that this is a science, not magic. Lord Krishna speaks of this in a Bhagavad Gita written centuries ago, and we have studied about it in our school physics, but we have never understood what it really means. I will first reveal to you the exact science that makes the law of attraction work as per the physics. And then we shall also understand how Lord Krishna had explained the same science in Bhagavad Gita according to my understanding. So, here is the story of a participant who learned the science behind the law of attraction and manifested a US visa. So, my name is Rahul Tapadia. I wanted to go to the United States of America to pursue the Masters in Science, but my visa was rejected. I had lost all the hopes because I was told that since I already had a rejection by the US Embassy, it was almost impossible to get a visa. Then I learned about the law of attraction from Mitesh, and I was surprised to learn how to scientific this phenomenon is. I applied all the techniques from this book, and as a result I attracted the miracle of getting US visa in my second attempt. In fact, I am right now in the USA, and I write this letter. Not only did I manifest the visa, but I also secured the admission in the university I wanted. The law of attraction has become the part of my lifestyle. Not only do I continue to practice it every day, but also recommend this book to my family and friends. Thank you, Mitesh, for teaching me the law of attraction. I would never made it this without this far, without practicing this science. Here is the science that makes the law of attraction work. The science behind the magic of law of attraction. Law of attraction, the science. You will be surprised to know that you were introduced to the science behind the law of attraction in our school physics. Now, don't get worried about having to read the physics. I have simplified it here for you. Once you understand how it works, you will have the conviction to use the technique and become the master of manifestation. So, here we go. In physics, we learned that everything around us has a mass and volume, including our body it's called matter. Anything that you want perceived through your five senses is called a matter. Thus, our world is described as a materialistic because everything is matter. The clothes where you wear constitutes matter. The air you breathe is also matter. Are the goals you want to achieve, the people around you, everything living and non living that has space and volume is called matter. If we look through a microscope at a piece of matter, we see that it is made up of many things like atoms, molecules, neutrons, and protons. And at the deepest level, there is a energy. Thus, the formula we learn in school is E equal to mc square. Energy equal to mc square. Each one of us and everything you see around is made up of energy. Water, air, all type of gases, light, mountain, trees, furniture around you, everything that is matter and is made up of energy. All the desires you have, house, car, money, relationship, anything that you want also matter, which is essentially made of energy. You are energy, I am energy, and our goals are energy. Everything is energy. Remember this, everything is energy. Remember this, everything around us is energy. Now, here is a tricky question. If you and I are made up of energy, then we made a different energy or the same energy. So are we made up of the different energy or the same energy? If may seems that we separate individuals and therefore made up of different energies. Actually, I'm made of very same energy that you are. Science has proven that the entire universe there is a one singular energy. So the bottom line is that you and I are made of the same energy, and thus at the energy level we are all connected. At one connected with the invisible thread of energy to one another. But we were connected, why can't we see the connections? Well, we can't see it because we don't have the capacity to see the energy with our naked eyes. We cannot see our bones with our naked eyes, but we can see it through X ray. Similarly, we can't see the energy connecting among us. However, the science has now developed the technology to not only see but even measure the energy that we all are made up of. Just because you don't have the capacity to see something, it doesn't mean it does not exist. I'm sure you have read or heard in your religious book that if you want to find a God, look within yourself because God resides within you. This is not just a philosophical, it also has a scientific basis to it. God is also a form of energy, and since there is a single force of energy in the universe, we we have inside us the same energy that God is made up of. Therefore, it is a correct to say that God resides inside us. This is why spiritual people are against the violence because they know that their whether you are hurting an animal or another human being at the energy level, you are only hurting yourself or hurting the energy of God itself, since everyone is made up of the same energy as God. When you are angry with someone else, why do you feel upset? Because at the energy levels, when you are angry with someone else, you are also angry with yourself. That is why forgiveness is very important because forgiving others, you only forgive yourself. You must have also heard that you give is what you get. If you give money to you get more of it. If you give love to others, you will get more love of it. Similarly, if you give anger to you get more anger of it. If you give the negativity, you will get more negativity. This principle works because at the energy level, we are all one. One. We all are one. Here are the laws of energy that control the law of attraction. Laws of energy. Our universe is governed by certain laws of energy. Master the laws and you master the science of universe. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to the another form. This means all the matter which is made up of energy, for example plastic bottle, can never be really created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to the another. Right now the plastic bottle is in the solid form. If we can heat the bottle and melt it in plastic again, it transforms into liquid form. Thus we only succeed in changing the form of energy. We did not and cannot destroy or create it. Now you may be wondering, why are we learning about this law of energy again? Understanding these laws will help you to understand the law to use the magical powers of law of attraction. The total amount of energy in the universe is always constant. This means that there is a no matter how much energy we use, no matter how much energy we transform it into another forms, the total amount of energy is always constant. Physics also proves that. Everything is made up of the same energy. We and our goals are made of the same energy, and the only thing that separates us from each other is the frequency at which we vibrate. We are all one, connected at the energy levels. Here is a scientific military experiment which proves that we are all connected at the energy of level of energy. Scientists took some DNA sample from the person's mouth and placed it in the device which could detect the changes happening in the DNA. They put the person and his DNA sample in completely different room. Then they showed him some pictures that made him feel variety of emotions like happiness, sadness, irritation, excitement, etc. The scientists were shocked to see that while the person in the one room was going through the emotional ups and downs, his DNA registered the same ups and downs at the exact same time in another room. Noticing this, the scientists were shocked at this and decided to take the experiment to the next level. What shocked the scientists most was his DNA registered the same changes even when the person was in completely different city. Many such scientific experiments prove that we all are connected at the level of energy. This gets very interesting. The next law of attraction tell us how to use the law of attraction to manifest what you want in your life. Number fourth concept is energy with the same frequency will attract each other, which means like attracts like attracts like. All energy vibrates at certain frequency, and when the energy of two things vibrate at the same frequency, it will attract each other like magnet. This is the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Since our goals are made up of energy, we can use this law of attraction to attract them towards us. In the next chapter, we will learn how the law of attraction is already working in our life and attracting that you already have in your life. Let us see how this law of attraction, law of energy were introduced to us by the Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, and I think Krishna as a master of the physics. Note, I do not claim to be master of Bhagavad Gita. This is my interpretations of connections I find it in it with the law of attraction. The law of attraction and the Bhagavad Gita. The soul can never be cut into the pieces by any weapon, nor burned by any fire, nor moistened by water, nor withdrawn by the wind. In simple words, here is how I found the connection between the law of attraction and Bhagavad Gita. What takes birth and dies is only your body. What takes birth and dies is only your body, the real you, which is your soul, energy, spirit, can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be changed from one form, one life to the another. This is exactly what physics says. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to the another form. I was quite amazed to discover the connection between the Bhagavad Gita and the law of energy explained in the physics. Lord Krishna knew these things centuries before science had the means to understand it. It gets even more exciting. Nothing ever dies nor takes birth, everything always exists. Physics says that the total amount of energy in the universe is always constant, so there is nothing can lost or wasted in this life. Wow! It is as same Krishna was explaining in physics. It was most excited by the following connection. Third number, God is inside everyone. If you truly want to seek God, then seek within yourself. Physics says everything is made up of the same energy. If God is energy, I am also energy, and we all are made up of the same energy. Then it makes sense that God is within all of us. It makes sense that God is everything because everything is made up of the same energy. Isn't this connection between the religion and the science is beautiful? I can't explain to you the excitement I feel even as I write this, as though I have found the bridge between the science and religion. In fact, one of the other things said in the Bhagavad Gita is that the whole materialistic world is an illusion, or what Krishna called Maya. Maya means illusion. Krishna says that the world we perceive is Maya or illusion because we as a human being cannot see the energy, we can only see the matter or the materialistic reality. Just when I thought this was the only connection, I discovered the law of attraction as a thing it explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Your destiny will always depend on your karma. Your destiny will always depend on your karma. Your actions have the energy with a certain frequency. As per the law of energy, like attracts like, so your action will attract result of the same frequency. To me, this implies that your destiny depends on your karma. So translated into the language of law of attraction, your destiny will depend on the frequency of your karma. I see this as a scientific validation for what was originally set forth in Bhagavad Gita. In spirituality, frequency is called consciousness. Frequency is called as consciousness. When we say we vibrate at different frequency, spiritual people says that we all are at different level of consciousness. So you see, the law of attraction is not some positive thinking philosophy that can be taken lightly. It is based on the scientific facts and the works with the law which have existed from centuries. Everything is energy, that all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help to get the reality. This is not just the philosophy but the science. Let us put these ideas together into this question about format to understand it better. The law of attraction. What is God? Yes, what is God? God is the infinite source of energy that we are all made up of. God is infinite source of energy that we are all made up of. What is God? Energy. God or energy is everywhere and everything and everybody, including me. who I am. I am energy, and there is a God inside me. What did Bhagavad Gita means by saying everything it's Maya or illusion? What our senses shows us is only the illusion of the solid matter or material. The really energy or the soul is never invisible to the unseeing eye. Thus, we live in the world of sensory reality or the illusion, Maya. Who is everyone around me? Everyone is God, energy, which is me. We all are one, only our form is different. Why do I feel bad when I hurt someone? Because at the level of energy, by hurting another, I hurt myself. Why do I feel good when I love and make someone happy? Because at the energy level, by loving another, I love myself. Why is forgiveness important? At the energy level, by forgiving another person, it is the self that I forgive myself. What do I deserve? I deserve everyone and everything as they all are me. Means they all are energy and I am also the energy at same frequency. Can I control my destiny? Yes. I can make my own destiny by controlling the frequency at which I vibrate. These answers are exciting because the course of this exploration, my best realization was that the God resides in everything, including me as the scientific fact. And now that I know I have the energy of the God within me, I also know I have the power to achieve whatever I want. Whatever I want to attract is also me at the energy level, so I deserve everything in my life because everything is in me and I am everything. After learning this, my perspective towards everything changed completely. I saw myself in my family, in my friends, in my colleagues, in my clients, in my problems, in all animals, in my laptop, in my mobile, and everything around me. As a result, my respect and love for everything around me grew exponentially. I was able to emphasize with the people to whom I could not relate earlier because I realized that they are a part of me as I am also the part of them. One should not show the disrespect to any person. One should not show the disrespect to any person. In reality, it would be a tantamount to disrespecting his own self, as the whole world is a God itself. In Bhagavad Gita, this line is written. What I realized, my wise spiritual gurus like Buddha were able to unconditionally love everyone and everything around them. I realized great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela were against the violence and wanted to win the people with love. All these great leaders knew that by hating someone else, they would only hate themselves. By loving and forgiving others, they would love and forgive themselves. What I learned transformed me and my life forever. In the next chapter, we will explore the depth of law of attraction and understand how to use it. Before that, here is a small exercise for you. Write down your own realization after reading about the law of attraction. Summary of the science behind the law of attraction. The law of attraction as per physics, everything is made up of the matter. Thus, all our world is a materialistic world. All matter is made up of energy. There is only one energy in the universe. We all are made up of the same energy. Thus, at the energy level, we are all are connected. We all are one. We cannot see the energy because the limitation of our senses. God is also a form of energy since there is only one energy in the universe. We and God are made up of the same energy. What we do to others affect us because we all are one at the basic of energy level. Laws of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it can only be transformed from one form to the another. Thus, the total amount the energy in the universe is always constant. All matter is made of the same energy. Energy is always vibrating at a certain frequency. Human beings cannot see, hear, or feel the frequency beyond a certain point. Energy with the same frequency will attract each other, and that's like attracts like. Like attracts like. That's our next chapter. Meet you in the next chapter. Thank you very much.